Royal Sussex Squad family, welcome back. You already know what time it is. We are here once again to speak truth to lies, cut through the royal PR fog, and tell the story of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle the way it really is, unapologetically and with receipts. And today? Oh, the palace propaganda machine is at it again. So now People magazine is out here running with this week's big cover, the rift between Prince Harry and Prince William. Yes, because apparently there's nothing more urgent in the world than dredging up the same old narrative for the 500th time. Why now? Because, of course, the anniversary of Princess Diana's death is just around the corner, and you know what that means. Here come the emotional manipulation tactics. Cue the dramatic music. Diana would have wanted her boys to be close. Diana would have wanted Harry to be William's wingman. They roll it out like it's gospel truth. But in reality, what they're pushing isn't about love or family. It's about control. The agenda is crystal clear. Turn Diana's memory into a royal PR tool to pressure Harry into crawling back into the fold on William's terms. And let's be honest, we've heard this script before. Every time William's public image takes a hit, suddenly it's Harry you need to make peace. Not William should pick up the phone. Not maybe both sides need to apologise. No, it's always Harry's move, Harry's burden, Harry's fault. Andrew Morton is quoted saying it's a great loss for the monarchy that Harry isn't by William's side anymore. There it is. That's the key. They didn't say a great loss for the brothers or a great loss for the family. No, it's a great loss for the monarchy. They're admitting it right out loud. This is not about brotherly love. It's about the crown losing its most relatable, most compassionate, most human representative. They know Harry had the magic. They know he connected with people in a way William has never been able to. Without Harry, the monarchy is colder, duller and less relevant, and they're panicking. Then we get to the most laughable part of the people piece. The so-called experts claiming reconciliation will not happen until Harry apologises. Let me repeat that. Harry has to apologise. This is where we have to stop and ask, apologise for what exactly? For marrying a woman he loves, for refusing to let his wife be publicly humiliated and racially abused, for telling the truth about what happened behind palace walls. Because last I checked, Harry didn't leak against William. Harry didn't feed lies to the press about Kate and Meghan. Harry didn't stand by silently while his brother's wife was dragged through the mud. Harry didn't use palace briefings to smear his own family. The reality is, Harry has already extended olive branches. He has called, he has messaged. We know because the palace leaks that those calls go unanswered. William has chosen to shut that door. Yet somehow, the press wants Harry to take all the blame. Why? Because admitting that William owes Harry an apology would require holding the future king accountable. And we know that's never going to happen in the royalist media bubble. And I'm sorry, but this idea that Diana's legacy means Harry should support William like a spare soldier is a gross distortion of who Diana really was. Yes, she wanted her boys to love each other. Yes, she wanted them to be close. But she also wanted them to be independent, compassionate and unafraid to stand up to injustice, even if that meant standing against the institution. She herself defied the crown when she needed to. She broke protocol to protect her own children. She spoke out when they tried to silence her. And does anyone honestly think she would sit back and smile while Charles ices Harry out and the palace machine vilifies Meghan? Absolutely not. The truth is, if Diana were alive today, she would be livid at the way Charles has treated Harry, Meghan, Archie and Lilibet. She'd be disgusted by the way William has allowed his own brother to be smeared for sport. She'd have called them out, privately first, but if they didn't listen, publicly. Diana was not one to protect the feelings of the powerful over the safety of the vulnerable. And can we just talk about this so-called indifference that William is supposedly showing? The Sunday Times claims his anger has calcified into indifference. Please, this isn't indifference. This is a calculated freeze-out. It's a form of control. The cold shoulder as punishment. If William truly didn't care, they wouldn't be planting these reconciliation stories every few months. They wouldn't be using Diana's name to stir public guilt against Harry. They wouldn't keep reminding everyone that the monarchy is somehow weaker without the spare. And here's another piece of hypocrisy. No one ever told Charles his kingship would be doomed without Anne. No one said the Queen's reign depended on her having constant unity with Andrew and Edward. Yet somehow Harry's absence is treated like a gaping hole that will cripple William's reign. Why? Because deep down they know the truth. Harry brings something William doesn't: warmth, charisma, global goodwill, and the monarchy can't manufacture that in a PR factory. Meanwhile, while the palace plays these PR games, what is Harry actually doing? He's raising two beautiful children with Meghan in a loving private home. He's advocating for mental health awareness, veterans, and global humanitarian causes. He's running Archewell and creating meaningful projects without the leash of royal protocol. Meghan is thriving, investing in ethical business, uplifting women and building partnerships on her own terms. They are living exactly the kind of authentic life Diana wanted for her children, and that's why the establishment can't stand it. Harry didn't crumble outside the royal bubble. He flourished. Meghan didn't vanish after leaving palace life. She built her own platform. Together they have shown that life beyond the crown is not exile. It's freedom. So when you see these anniversary headlines about what Diana would have wanted, remember, they're not talking about what she would have wanted for her sons. They're talking about what she would have wanted for the monarchy. And there is a very big difference. Diana's true legacy is compassion, courage and independence. It's refusing to be broken by an institution that doesn't protect you. And that's exactly what Harry and Meghan are living today. They're not betraying Diana's memory. They are honouring it more than anyone inside those palace walls. So no, Harry doesn't owe William or the crown an apology. The people who tried to destroy him and Meghan, they owe him the apology. And even then, forgiveness is not owed, it's earned. Until that happens, Harry is doing exactly what his mother would have wanted, protecting his family, speaking his truth, and refusing to be anyone's puppet. Princess Diana would have wanted her sons to support each other. The rift between Prince Harry and Prince William covers this week's People magazine. At first, I wondered why anyone would focus on Harry and William's estrangement at this moment. But then I remembered that the anniversary of Princess Diana's death is coming up in a few weeks, and that's why they're framing it this way. Diana would have wanted her sons to make peace, etc. A lot of people have agendas when it comes to Diana's memory and the real history of what she actually did and said. In my view, Diana would be deeply disappointed in her eldest son, and she would be disgusted with the way Charles has treated both of their sons and all of their grandchildren. But of course, none of the royal experts will say any of that. Some highlights from this cover story, William and Harry, are more than an ocean apart. We all remember the days when Harry and William were joshing with one another, and it all seemed set for their relationship and the future. That Harry, as Diana always used to say, would be William's wingman, Diana's biographer Andrew Morton tells people in this week's cover story. It's a great loss for the monarchy. The rewrite on Harry and William's feud. Their feud exploded into public view in 2020, when the Duke and Duchess of Sussex stepped back from their royal duties. Things were said that sparked the initial rift, and it's never healed, Morton says. Harry has to apologise to Peggy. While Harry has spoken openly about his hope for reconciliation with his family, insiders say his calls and messages to William have gone unanswered. Says Robert Lacey, author of Battle of Brothers, "The rift is very profound and very long-lasting. It will not be changed, in my opinion, until Harry makes a move and apologises." Adds historian Amanda Foreman. Everyone wants it to happen on their terms, but that's what makes it impossible. Diana's impact on her sons' families. Despite the emotional and physical distance between them, William and Harry have each created home lives grounded in a shared commitment to providing their children with a genuinely authentic upbringing. And that is pure Diana, says Foreman. Both brothers have also honoured their mother by giving their daughters her name as a middle name. They often speak of her to their children, and her photograph is displayed throughout their homes. The values they are instilling and discussing as families may be their best success, Foreman adds. They are both very good role models as parents. Harry and Charles will likely meet in September. William's team, notably, was not involved in these discussions. For the Prince of Wales, priorities lie elsewhere, supporting his wife who is recovering from cancer treatment and guiding their young family through pivotal years, with attention to 12-year-old George, his heir. William is so indifferent, with his focus clear, sources say. William's anger has calcified into indifference about the situation, a friend told the Sunday Times in June. Royal biographer Sally Bedell-Smith sees this as William accepting limits. He can control what he does in his life, but he has no control over what Harry does, she tells People. Adds historian Robert Lacey. They both deeply believe that they're fighting for profound points of principle. Harry and William should be supporting one another. This is the sadness of it. They aren't supporting each other like they should be, says a source close to the royal household. That's what any mother would want, that they are there for each other. Adds Morton, whose latest book, Winston and the Windsors, is out in October. Diana always used to say she had 2 boys for a reason. The younger would be there to support the older in the lonely task as future king. There is no doubt Diana would have tried to act as a peacemaker between them. If she had been around, they would have worked things out in a different way, from People. The brothers should support each other, / Harry needs to support William narrative has always been utterly and profoundly bizarre. It's never based on a notion of brotherly love and support. It's always based on what William needs or William's inadequacies. It also has no modern connection. Charles enjoys Anne's support, but no one ever said that Charles needs Anne, or that Charles's kingship would be hampered if he didn't have absolute control over his siblings. Over the years, they've pretty much admitted that the whole thing has fallen apart without Harry, and that William's kingship will be crippled by Harry's absence, or the absence of control over Harry. As for what Diana would have wanted, as I said, I feel strongly that Diana would have been absolutely furious with the way Charles has treated Harry. That is what would upset her the most, that Charles has been such a god-awful father and grandfather. And that's why we support him. That's why the Royal Sussex Squad exists, because the truth matters. So, family, if you're here for the real story, if you're tired of the spin, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss any of our deep dives. And if you want to help us keep bringing you the unfiltered truth, hit that super thanks button and support the channel. Every contribution keeps this platform going strong, free from the influence of palace PR and tabloid lies. Because here we tell it straight. And the truth is on Harry and Meghan's side. Always has been, always will be.